Hello, I am Christian Morris. I am in grade 10, and here is my. Wait, what was this called again? And this is the unofficial official rigor mortis model. Before I explain anything on this model, we're going to start over with the basic terms that we have on here. First, we have the sarcolemma. The sarcolemma is the plasma membrane of a muscle fiber cell. It is a selectively permeable membrane that controls the entry and exit of substances in and out of the cell. The T-tubule. It's a structure found in muscle cells that helps transmit electrical signals deep into the cell. It's a narrow tube-like extension of the sarcolemma that penetrates deep into the muscle fiber. It's important for coordinating muscle contraction as they allow for rapid and synchronized release of calcium ions in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The neuromuscular junction. It's a site where a motor neuron meets a muscle fiber. It's the point where the nervous system communicates with the muscular system. The release in the neuromuscular junction triggers a series of events that ultimately leads to muscle contraction. The axon bulb. It's also known as the axon terminal or synaptic terminal. It's at the end of an axon of a neuron. It's the site where the neuron communicates with other cells, such as muscle fibers or other neurons. The neurotransmitter. It's a chemical substance that is released by a neuron and can bind to receptors on target cells. Signals between neurons or from neurons to other cells, such as muscle fibers. The sarcoplasmic reticulum. It's a specialized type of endoplasmic reticulum found in muscle cells. It is involved in the regulation of calcium ion concentration in the muscle cell, which is essential for muscle contraction. Sarcoplasm. It's the cytoplasm of a muscle cell. It contains all the cellular components necessary for muscle contraction, including the contractile proteins actin and myosin. Calcium ions. These little guys are charged particles of calcium that play a crucial role in many biological processes in the body. Calcium ions bind to regulatory proteins such as troponin and calmodulin, which trigger the interaction between actin and myosin, resulting in muscle contraction. Now, if you haven't noticed already, a lot of this has a pattern, and that pattern is muscle contraction. Skeletal muscles will contract or relax when they receive electrical signals. This is possible due to action potentials from the nervous system. The neuromuscular junction is the whole site of the signal exchange. Think of it as a big meetup place. That's where the synaptic bulb of an axon terminal and muscle fiber connect. Action potentials are also known as electrical signals. That's why they're called action potentials. The action potential goes down the axon of a somatic neuron down to the axon bulb, which is located within the axon terminal. Neurotransmitter molecule release is stimulated by the action potential. This is due to a phenomenon called chemical signaling. Binding action of acetylcholine transmitter to a receptor causes the receptors to open. This allows the sodium ions, which are highly concentrated on the outside of the model fiber, to flow inside. The sarcolemma will then convey this electrical signal along its length, where it will then be able to propagate down the T-tubule. ATP then binds to myosin in hydrolysis. This pulls back the myosin head into an extended high energy position, leaving byproducts of ADP and inorganic phosphate. Calcium ions are then released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, binding it down to the troponin on the thin filament. This causes the troponin to adjust in shape. And when it's exposed, the extended myosin will then bind to an exposed active site on the actin, forming a cross bridge on the myosin head. It then moves to a low energy state when the ADP and the phosphate are used up. Still attached to the actin, it causes a movement called power stroke. ATP is then reintroduced to the binding site and breaks the cross bridge between myosin and actin. The leftover ATP and phosphate are then recycled, and the process repeats over and over. And that causes muscle contraction after death, aka rigor mortis. I hope you enjoyed that. I worked really hard on this. My dad and mom helped with this, so I'd like to say thank you to them. I did like all the research myself. But my mom and dad helped with the board itself. And I would like to say thank you to you for letting me do this assignment. I hope you enjoyed it and thought it was good. And please give me an A. I'm not gonna say I'm such as muscle food. Oh my god.